Hey, you. Yeah, you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast?
We're two busy moms and boss ladies. If we can do it, you can too. When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had a lot of questions. How do we record an episode? How do we get our show into all the apps people like to listen to? How do we make money from a podcast?
The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what we're doing right now by reading this ad. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast and make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start to join us in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor.
That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast. You're listening to Boss Ladies and Babies.
Business Blab with Megan. It's time to take off our mom hats and let our entrepreneurial side show. So grab a notebook and give yourself a bossy timeout. Welcome back to Business Blab with me, Megan. Spring has sprung, and our homes aren't the only places that might need some tidying up this time of year. With the end of Q1, longer days, and sunshine and happiness all around, there is no better time than right now to tidy up your home and your business. The excitement of the new year is wearing off, guilty, and some of our ideas might have some cobwebs hanging around that could use a little bit of dusting. Clutter might be starting to pile up again, and we might be feeling like we could just use a little more pep in our steps. So here are some of my favorite ways to clean up the old business this time of year. First things first, cleaning out your digital space. This is literally the bane of my existence. In fact, I'm currently searching for a VA to help me because it is not a strong skill of mine. Outsourcing for the win, finding someone who is good at it so you can focus what you're good at. I can't get my digital space together. It haunts my dreams. I try and try again. So this is where I always like to start. If you're like me, finding a VA, this is a great time to do so. Or if you are a little bit better at cleaning up that digital space, now is your time. Make sure you clean up your email, your desktop, your drive, files. All of those things need to be clean and organized so your business can operate just a little bit more smoothly. It wouldn't be a bad idea to clean up the camera roll too while you're at it, even if that's not part of your business necessarily, but just having that clean digital space makes things so much easier. I find that if my digital space is a mess, which it currently is, I might not notice it day to day, but it's in the back of my mind of this clutter that is just making daily business operations so much harder. So I'm working on, like I said, the VA, and then also putting some systems in place that I can help keep things a little bit more organized in my digital space because it is a huge problem of mine. Let me know if you're with me. I am on the struggle bus with that digital space. The next one is to clean up your CRM. So we all know how leads work. Some are hot fire. And then there are the super cold ones who just sit in our database and never melt away. They're just there forever, but nothing ever happens with them. So now is a great time to take a temperature on all of your leads and clean out the ones who aren't warming up. I like to also send little notes to my database every quarter, and so now is a really good time to just send a little spring hello, make sure they're thinking about you, they remember who you are, so that you're on their radar just as much as they are on yours. Another great thing to do this time of year is to update your bios and your website copies. So are your bios consistent on social media? What about those profile pictures? Has your logo changed? Has your message changed? Just kind of going back and checking out to make sure that everything is super consistent so that your customers know exactly what you do and what it is that you want them to do. So now is the time to double check and update all of that. How's your link tree looking on your Instagram? Are there old links on there? How's that website looking? Have you changed your services or products? Have you added more? Have you removed some? The website is something that we tend to forget about editing when things change. So make sure that you review that copy and make sure that everything's up to date. You will thank me later. Take some time to do that ASAP. Next, checking your to-do list. So first of all, if you have not set up a do, doing, done board, that needs to be a huge priority. It's so easy. You just need a whiteboard or honestly an open wall space and some sticky notes. And if you want to know what this is, let me know. We can chat more about it. If you have set up your do, doing, done board, you want to go over and review this board and look at your projects and see if anything needs to be adjusted or updated. There may be some things that are in your to-do list that you've already done and need to be moved over to that different list. Or there may be some things in your doing list that you've decided to put on the back burner and need to be moved back to do. We really want to make sure that our to-do list is organized so that we can keep track of what's happening and move things accordingly. And when we have those down moments in our business where we're not sure what to be doing, we can quickly look over at our list and see what we can be doing in that time. So getting this organized, checking it over, checking it twice, making sure that everything is up there where it needs to be will help keep things running nice and smooth for you. The next thing is to revisit your goals. So I don't know about you, but I went into this year with my goals being a little less cement than they usually are, with the unprecedented times and all. So now is a really good time to revisit your goals. We're a quarter into the year. It's time to go back and look at those goals that we set at the beginning and see what we're doing so far. What have we accomplished? What haven't we accomplished? And how do we need to tweak our goals accordingly to what we've done so far? I'm all about being flexible with your goals and setting goals that are realistic for you. And I am not opposed to changing my goals a quarter into the year. If I have huge goals and a slow first quarter, it doesn't make sense for me to keep my goals as large as they were. I need to go back and make those goals obtainable for the rest of the year. Now's a really good time to do that. Take that temperature check. What have you done so far? What do you need to change? And how can you make your goals realistic for how things are going so far? And then if you exceed those goals, that's amazing. But this is a really good time to get those expectations realistic and back in order. And then the last thing that I like to do this time of year is clean up my office. Having a clean workspace is really important for a clear mind. It's just like the digital space, right? Except for it's something that we actually see all the time. So what I like to do is empty my entire desk this time of year, every drawer, everything, and reorganize all of my supplies and ditch the things that I haven't used all year. Same thing goes with my notebooks and my bookshelves, just taking everything out and giving it a good once over. And if it looks a little dusty, like I haven't used it in the past year, it's probably not something I need to keep in my space. I also like to make sure that my office is a place that I like to be. So check out your office space. Do you need to rearrange things? Can you add in some of your branding colors or some things that make you really happy when you see them? And then if you're like me, you're always losing things like pens and sticky notes and paper clips. They just seem to go missing. So while you're in this spring cleaning for your business, go ahead and do a little Amazon shopping to restock the office essentials. Grab some pens, grab some sticky notes, just have those things on hand so it's not an excuse to procrastinate on your work. So those are my tips for you. I am all about a good spring clean, and these tips will get your business squeaky clean and ready for anything that the rest of the year has to throw at you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I can't wait to hear how it goes. And until next time, stay bossy.
Thank you for listening to Boss Ladies and Babies. If you like this episode, be sure to rate, review, and leave us some feedback.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook and join the conversation in our Facebook group at Boss Ladies and Babies.
And until next time,
Stay bossy.